Welcome to House Lux Estate, your go-to channel for everything finance, real estate, and taxation. Here we aim to enlighten you with compelling content, unraveling the intricacies of these complex domains. Whether you're looking to invest in property, understand your tax obligations, or simply expand your knowledge, we've got you covered. Our mission is to make finance and real estate more accessible, one video at a time. Today, we delve into a topic that affects everyone: the history of taxation and why we pay taxes. Taxation is as ancient as civilization itself. It dates back to the era of the pharaohs of Egypt. Yes, even back then, people had to part with a portion of their earnings, but instead of filling out complicated forms and filing it to a tax agency, the process was somewhat more straightforward, though not necessarily easier. In the times of ancient Egypt, taxes weren't just about money. They were often paid in labor or in kind, such as grain, livestock, or crafted goods. These taxes, whether they were in the form of manual labor or goods, were used to support the pharaoh's extravagant lifestyle and monumental projects. These projects included the construction of pyramids, palaces, and statues, all built to glorify the pharaoh and to ensure their legacy lived on. But it wasn't just in Egypt where taxation took root. If we journey to ancient Greece, we'll find that they had their own unique form of taxation. The Greeks had a system called aisphora. Unlike Egypt, where taxes were a constant, aisphora was only levied when the city-state needed funds, usually in times of war. And interestingly, the wealthy were expected to contribute more, a concept that still resonates in many modern tax systems. Now let's venture to ancient Rome. Here, taxes were more structured, and yes, more complicated. The Romans had several types of taxes, including a wealth tax, import and export taxes, and even a tax on manumission, which was the act of freeing a slave. These taxes funded the vast Roman infrastructure, including roads, aqueducts, and the ever-expanding Roman army. So, from the grain fields of Egypt, through the city-states of Greece, to the sprawling Roman Empire, taxation has been a constant companion to civilization. It's been used to fund wars, build infrastructure, and support the lifestyles of the rich and powerful. So, from ancient Egypt, Greece, and Rome, taxation has always been a part of human society. It's a concept that's evolved over thousands of years, shaping societies and civilizations along the way. As we move into the Middle Ages, taxation took on a new form. During this period, the feudal system largely dictated the structure of society, and this in turn shaped the manner in which taxes were levied and collected. The feudal system was essentially a hierarchical structure where the king or queen was at the top, followed by the nobles, knights, and finally the peasants or serfs. Land, known as fiefs, was granted by the monarch to the nobles, who in exchange pledged their loyalty and military support. This system of mutual obligations extended all the way down to the lowest rungs of society. Now you might wonder, where does taxation fit into this picture? Well, it was the peasants or serfs, the lowest tier in the feudal pyramid, who shouldered the brunt of taxation. They didn't pay taxes in the modern sense of the word. Instead, they offered up a portion of their labor or the goods they produced, such as crops, to their lords. This was known as in-kind taxation. Peasants didn't exactly have a choice in the matter. Their very survival was tied to the land they worked on, which was owned by their lords. Refusal to pay these taxes could result in eviction, a fate arguably worse than the burden of taxation itself. But the Middle Ages wasn't just about the peasants footing the tax bill. The church, a powerful entity during this era, also imposed a tax known as the tithe. This was typically 1/10 of a person's income and was paid directly to the church. It was a mandatory contribution that everyone, regardless of their social status, was expected to pay. The Middle Ages marked a shift in taxation from supporting a ruler's lifestyle to maintaining a societal system. The feudal system, with its inherent obligations and dependencies, created a unique form of taxation where the burden was shared, albeit unevenly, by all members of society. This period in history serves as a stark reminder of the various forms tax can take and the profound impact it can have on the structure of societies. Fast forward to the modern era, taxation has become more complex and necessary for the functioning of governments. The advent of income tax, introduced in the late 18th century, significantly changed the taxation landscape. Initially, it was a temporary measure introduced by Great Britain to fund the war against Napoleon. However, the concept quickly spread across the globe, becoming a permanent feature of most economies. Income tax is a progressive tax, meaning the rate increases as the taxable amount increases. This system aims to distribute wealth more evenly across society, placing a heavier burden on those with higher incomes. It's an essential tool for governments to tackle wealth inequality and promote economic justice. The taxation system varies greatly from country to country. For instance, in Scandinavian countries such as Denmark and Sweden, citizens pay some of the highest taxes globally. In return, they receive extensive public services, including free healthcare and education. On the other hand, countries like the United Arab Emirates and Monaco have zero income tax, attracting wealthy individuals and businesses. Despite the differences, the common denominator is that taxes are essential for funding public services and infrastructure. Today, taxes fund public goods and services like roads, schools, and hospitals. They pay for public safety, like police and fire departments. Taxes also fund services like waste disposal and public transit. These are aspects of our daily lives that we often take for granted, but they wouldn't exist without taxation. Additionally, taxes are used for redistributive purposes. They fund welfare and social security systems, providing a safety net for the most vulnerable in society. This redistribution of wealth is a contentious issue, with debates about how much should be redistributed and in what way. Regardless of one's viewpoint, it's undeniable that without taxes, these safety nets couldn't exist. Taxes also play a crucial role in the macroeconomic policies of a country. They are used to stimulate economic growth, control inflation, and reduce unemployment. In times of economic downturn, governments may choose to reduce taxes to stimulate spending and boost the economy. Conversely, in times of inflation, taxes might be increased to cool down the economy. Furthermore, taxes are instrumental in funding research and development in fields like technology, medicine, and renewable energy. This investment drives innovation, improves living standards, and helps tackle global challenges like climate change. In the modern world, taxes are an integral part of our societal structure, funding everything from healthcare to roads. While nobody likes parting with their hard-earned money, it's important to remember that without taxes, many of the services and infrastructure we rely on daily wouldn't exist. So, the next time you're filing your taxes, remember, it's not just about giving away your money. It's about contributing to a system that benefits us all. But why do we pay taxes? What's the real purpose behind it? You might be wondering. Well, taxes serve as the lifeblood of a country. They are the primary source of revenue for governments around the world, allowing them to operate and provide public services. Think about it. When you stroll through a public park, drive on a highway, or send your children to a public school, you're experiencing the benefits of your tax dollars at work. These essential services and infrastructures are largely funded by the taxes we pay. And taxes don't just fund public services and infrastructure, they also play a crucial role in shaping our society. The concept of tax fairness is integral to how a tax system is structured. It's about ensuring that everyone pays their fair share based on their ability to pay. This helps in wealth redistribution, ensuring that wealth doesn't just remain concentrated at the top, but is spread more evenly across society. Moreover, taxes also help in regulating the economy. They can be used as a tool to control inflation and manage public debt. So next time when you're filling out your tax forms, remember this: your contribution is not just an obligation, but a necessary investment for a better and more equitable society. So, while no one enjoys paying taxes, they are essential for the functioning and development of our societies. That's a quick journey through the history of taxation and why we pay taxes. We've traveled from the rudimentary systems of ancient civilizations, through the elaborate structures of the Middle Ages, and into the complex mechanisms of modern taxation. We've also explored the reasons why we contribute to public funds, from supporting basic infrastructure to funding social services and defense. It's fascinating to see how taxation has evolved over time, shaped by societal needs, economic conditions, and political ideologies. Yet, despite its diverse forms and functions, the essential purpose of taxation remains: to fund the collective endeavors of society. We hope these insights have shed some light on a topic that often seems shrouded in complexity. Remember, understanding our tax system is not just about knowing where our money goes, but also about recognizing our role in the bigger picture. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Remember to subscribe to HouseLux Estate for more insightful videos on finance, real estate, and taxation. Stay informed, stay savvy.